We'll take a look at weather with Marvin Rhodes in just a moment, when News Center 10 continues.
Weather-wise tonight, some good news and some bad news. The good news is that that weather front that went through yesterday and left some rain and precipitation in the Astoria area, northern Oregon and southwest Washington, has moved on past into the Idaho area, into Montana, has left some snow showers and some rain and thunderstorms. And that also, because of that moved the air stagnation advisory that had been up since last week for the western part of Oregon. It dropped that stagnation advisory, but the bad news is it didn't do much for southern Oregon and northern California with the air stagnation advisory, as the haze and the smoke and things in the air continue to remain just the way they had been. Let's take a look at the western satellite and take a look at the way the front moved across earlier this morning. And there you can see that the clouds in that front is going right across southwest Oregon. The northern part of the state is pretty clear. That's why their air stagnation advisory was lifted, is because of the clear skies there, and it just allowed that stuff to move right on out. As you can see, southern California in just great shape, and that's the way it was earlier today. Let's take a look at some of the high temperatures around the state earlier this afternoon, starting up here in the Astoria area. It was 63 degrees in Astoria, 65 in the Newport area, 70 degrees in Brookings. That probably was the high temperature throughout the state earlier today. Down into Red Bluff, 79 degrees, 63 degrees in Happy Camp, 63 in the Illinois Valley, Medford 66, 64 in Ashland. It was 69 in Grants Pass, Roseburg 55, 64 in Eugene. Salem had 61, and up in Portland area 61 degrees. And then on down, if we move back down here to the southern part of the state, it was about 63 degrees in Klamath Falls, Siskiyou County, the Mount Shasta-Siskiyou area, 65 to 70 degrees in that general area. Lakeview 52, and it was about 74 degrees over in Alturas. Bend had 64, Burns 59 earlier this afternoon. Let's take a look at the satellite photos that came in late this afternoon with the infrared satellite, and you can see the front as it was earlier this afternoon, or actually this was about 3 o'clock this morning that this infrared was taken, and this is that front that was hanging over southwest Oregon this morning and causing some of the rain and everything up in the northern part of the state. As you can see in the photo taken later this afternoon at 3 o'clock this afternoon, that front had pretty well moved on past, and that's into the Idaho area, into Montana and Wyoming, and that has moved right on past, leaving Washington and Oregon virtually cloud-free, but it dropped snow, and there was thunderstorms, moderate thunderstorms, which were about 22,000 feet. A big thunderstorm would be about 57,000 feet, somewhere in that general area, but 22,000 feet was the thunderstorms, very moderate, but it cleared off most of southern Oregon and the northern part of the state, now hoping that smog and haze gets out of the southern part of the valleys of Oregon, and then also will clear out in northern California also. The next thing to watch will be this big front, which is slowly moving over here. Probably some rain by about the time we get to, say, maybe Friday. Clouds Thursday night, and then maybe some rain by Friday, but don't hold us to that. Taking a look now at the weather forecasts for the specific areas for the Klamath Basin. The forecast is calling for fair skies tonight through Saturday, actually through Thursday, with some patchy morning fog. Cold temperatures with lows tonight 25 to 30, highs tomorrow about 60 degrees. Northern California mostly fair through Wednesday night with increasing high clouds Thursday. Light winds, low tonight 38, high Wednesday 64. On the Oregon coast, fair tonight and tomorrow, patchy morning fog with increasing clouds Thursday, lows in the upper 30s to the low 40s, highs in the low to upper 60s. And for the Rogue Valley, fair tonight, Wednesday and Thursday, with overnight low temperatures in the low 30s, with maybe some local frost, highs in the mid 60s, and Thursday's high should be in the upper 60s. Chance of measurable precipitation is about 0 through Wednesday. That's the way it looks weather-wise. Terry will have more news in just a moment.